Stage lights cold as a winter rain. One breath, one prayer, then the world went strange. Crowd froze up when the thunder cracked. Truth on a mic and a life attacked. He talked about hope in a storming land. Bible in the heart and a promise in his hands. But a shadow reached from a coward's perch, cut down a son in the middle of church. And I swear if the tables turned the other way, y'all know there'd be fires in the streets today. But here we stand with candles and a folded flag, begging God for mercy on the road we drag. How dare they steal the breath from a faithful man? How dare they stain the grass where his boots once stand? They call us evil, point at our cross, then pull that trigger and reckon no cost. If it were theirs, there'd be sirens and flames, but we're praying for truth while we whisper his name. Charlie, we ain't letting go of your hand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, good evening, Erie County. It wasn't a bad day today. I mean, the sun was out, a little cool, but that's all right. Got some things done on the Hummer, little nickel dime. Don't you just hate those little nickel dime projects that you just kind of keep putting off? And then you're like, okay, I got to get this done. I mean, it's just ridiculous that my headliner along the top, the one side fell, and I don't know how to reattach it. So I just took some self-threading screws and some washers and put it right back up. Now she's repaired. It's a Hummer. It's not a limo. She goes out in the winter and rescues people. So I don't think, the custom car guys will come in there and inspect my headliner that is held up with a couple zip screws. But yeah, Lance, Kim, Stan, Gwen, Linda, Dave, all board. Wow, that's good. The crews are here. The channels are lighting up. Yeah, Facebook and then YouTube lighting up live. That's okay. That's what we do. We have 8 different. Jeff, thanks for coming in tonight, sir. I was going to stop by and see you, but you look like duct tape. I thought about that, but that's really, really redneck repairs. I wanted to make it look somewhat decent, and I got nice, Allen head screws, self-tapping with a little washer. Looks nice. I'll find something a little fancier. Screws. They had the fancy little screw, little chrome washers. I'll see if I can find some of those to replace them. But that's what I had in the drawer, so that's what she got today. So no, it's nice to see everybody. Joe, thanks for coming by. Neighbor Joe's here. We just had a nice little powwow at the Republican headquarters. It's nice to get some new faces in there, have a nice discussion, nice and calm, and no chairs being thrown across the rooms or people calling each other names. April, thanks for coming in. It was nice. It was nice to have an adult conversation about, direction and which way we should be going as a local Republican Party. And it was nice. Mel hosted it. We had committee people there. We had non-committee people there. We had Joe Q citizens there, just coming in to voice their opinions on, hey, how do we fix this thing? Well, it takes a team, guys. There's only a handful of committee people that can only do so much. Yeah, well, Harbor is somewhat redneck. That's true. We do have a reputation. One time someone said, "You snotty people out in Rich Harbor Creek." I said, "Guys, I could take you to some houses that I would not classify as rich." And I said, "There are farmers out here. There are people with cows in their yard and sheep and animals. And of course, there's a couple, we have the privilege of access to the lake. So there are some very nice homes that sit down on the lake. So yeah, don't judge Harbor Creek just by a handful of houses that stretch across a couple miles of lakefront property. There's some regular working folks here, normal houses like my little neighborhood. It was just the suburbs of GE. So yeah, somewhat redneck. There are some folks out here that you could probably classify that. And you know what? They're damn proud of that. We're not snooty. Everybody's welcome. You can live on a farm or you can live in a multi-million-dollar home. Nobody cares out here. Just don't tell too many people. We want to keep our little Harbor Creek Township secret. Of course, we like growth because we don't like to pay. We don't get a tax increase. We haven't had one in over 31 years. So I challenge any municipality throughout Erie County to say, hey, you guys haven't had a tax increase in over 30 years. The city of Erie's proud when they say, we haven't given you a tax increase in 6 years. Well, the current county council wants to give you an $8 million one. I think I read online the city of Erie wants, I think it was 3 or 6. I can't remember off the top of my head. But it was a couple bucks. And it's so funny, the liberals that absolutely voted for all these liberals in Erie. It's okay. I don't mind spending a couple extra dollars to take care of my city. Well, then that's fine. What about the people that are living paycheck to paycheck on welfare and eating dog food or homeless? So yeah, that's real snotty of you, but hey, you knocked yourself out. Yeah, so everybody's coming in. The channels are slowly lighting up, and that's exactly what we like to see. We got a couple good videos tonight. Oh well, they always get you guys on your fees. The water, trust me, we get that too because our water comes from the city. Gee, thanks. The sewer, same thing. We deal with that. We deal with that problem. We got some good videos. We have the president of Gun Owners of America. He posted a video about some gun legislation we should all be paying attention to, because these Democrats are absolutely coming in every direction they can to do a gaslight, red flag, all those cool hip, trigger words that like the Democrats want to do. Of course, we'll talk about, the Epstein files. Of course, we go from one, hey, Bill, we go from one Democrat talking point to the next. Last week, it was the government shut down. Republicans, Republicans, Republicans. Okay, they get their backsides kicked on that deal. So we're done with that. We got the budget done. So okay. What catastrophe can we deal with today? File. Look at the file out. Epstein. Go to Epstein files. Yeah, that's our talking points this week. Well. Isn't that some interesting legislation we have a video about that coming up too, about how that passed. And I believe, if I interpreted the video correctly, now it goes to the president's desk. And look at all the Democrats scrambling with their expense reports and how much money they took from Mr. Epstein. Well, I mean, he was a scumbag. We know that. He was a New York socialite. He was a multi-millionaire that ran with the Clintons, ran with everybody. And of course, our Dollar Tree Obama got his hands caught in the cookie jar with Epstein dirty money. So it's funny how they still absolutely tried to spin this. They are spinning this around. I read a headline. I don't think we have a video on this one about one of the Democrats that was named resigned. Whoops-a-daisy. So yeah, what do we have here? Oh, okay. Brenda just put up the Epstein files. Let's go ahead and run with that, Brenda.
Breaking news now from Washington on the release of the Epstein files in the Senate. Won't need a vote. Unanimous consent. They have just approved it. The Senate agreeing by unanimous consent to approve the bill that passed in the House to require the Justice Department release all of the unclassified records and documents related to the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. So this has just happened, again, by unanimous consent, meaning they won't have to go through a vote. We heard it might happen as early as tonight. Well, it's happened now. On it goes to President Trump's desk for his signature. This is breaking news out of Washington. 427-1 was the House vote. By unanimous consent, the Epstein files are voted on in the Senate to be released onto the president It goes.
They were sealed by 3 separate judges, ironically, all appointed by Democrats on 3 separate occasions. Check out who blocked this each time. This is actually amazing, folks. July 23rd, 2025, release blocked by Robin L. Rosenberg, the Southern District of Florida, appointed by Barack Obama in 2014. That's weird. Denied unsealing the grand jury transcripts from Epstein's 2005 to 2007 Florida federal investigation, ruling that the request fell outside judicial proceedings and violated state secrecy guidelines and declined to transfer the case back up to New York. August 11th, just a month later, 2025, blocked again by Paul A. Engelmeyer, Southern District of New York, rejecting unsealing of grand jury materials from Ghislaine Maxwell's case, stating that they, contained no new information. And, they said it was a risk of unraveling secrecy without sufficient justification. That's pretty weird because another judge just released all the grand jury information to Comey's team, which you would think, since Comey is, alive and stuff, unlike Epstein, would be even more unprecedented. But whatevs. Anyway, the third time, on August 20th, 2025, Richard M. Berman, Southern District of New York, denied unsealing of grand jury transcripts and exhibits from the Epstein 2019 indictment, calling the DOJ's motion a diversion from its own and unreleasing files, emphasized threats to victim safety and privacy, even though all those names just would have been redacted. But yet, here we are, and the people who tried to get on this early, like Massey, were made out to be demons.
Yeah. Well, here, I'm just going to pause this because this is actually part of the video. I want you guys to read through all this. I mean, I'm not going to read through it. You're all adults. You can read it yourself. But, these are the highlights. Epstein has donated a lot of money to politicians on both sides of the aisle, including Chuck Schumer, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and Bob Dole in 1990, according to Center to Responsive Politics. As I said, yeah, it's just like the Clintons and Trump. They were buddies. They're all New York socialites, Democrats. Trump was a Democrat. Boy, the minute he became a Republican, rah, evil. Yeah, let's get that off pause. Yeah. So, it's so funny how hypocritical, and we've said this once, we said it 1,000 times, how hypocritical the Democrats are. They are always pointing their fingers at us, and 90% of the time, the minute they're pointing their fingers at us, they're the ones with their hands in the cookie jars. Story after story after story. And, Timo Obama just sits up there and just spews his lies and rhetoric, and then he doesn't even blink an eye at it anymore. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. And why are the people being flamboozled and believing this stuff? And that's what, I think was maybe a factor on this whole election cycle, how the Democrats were pissed off. Well, they just keep feeding them enough crap to keep them pissed off that, yeah, Trump, he took our SNAP benefits. No, but every Democrat that had access to the microphones, which the news gives it to them because they're all Democrats, just kept pounding. No budget, no snap. And the minute the budget was fixed, we got a budget. Oh, and look what little Josh did. Little Joshy here in Pennsylvania did exactly the same thing. They held off, they drug their feet, and it ended up being a talking point that he probably did about at least 20 TikTok videos. His TikTok videos are so stupid. They're not even good. If they were good, I'd say, okay, that was a good video, Josh. That was pretty good. Dude, you are getting flamboozled from your media people. He just sits down there and they play some stupid song with some stupid thought. Josh, that's not going to win you re-election, and it's definitely not going to get you in the White House. You're not even going to make it out of the primary. My prediction, I'm going to give you that one right now. He will not be the Democrat nominee. They've already decided. It's already been figured out that they're going to do this big whole shenanigans and facade that, okay, we're going to do this thing, but we want Newscomb in there. they've already picked him. That's Nancy Pelosi's nephew, and he's got the money. Trust me. He's already raped and pillaged California to almost out of existence. But the people vote blue no matter who. He's flamboozled them on the fires and everything. Dave, pretty quiet on the east side, nothing but trust pissers, and nothing out of the ordinary this week. Wow, you better knock on some wood, please, because that's like mind-boggling. Well, it's cold. The locals don't want to come out in the cold. Everybody ask Snap members, WIC, please contact or they can forward to Harrisburg and Washington. Yeah, no, thanks, Cindy. We appreciate that. Matt, most appears Epstein was a Democrat puppeteer. Oh, absolutely. Using people like Placid Center that resigned, I believe. I think I read that also. Help bring down Trump via proxy. This is an anti-Trump everything. Everything, every time they open their mouth, Trump, 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 Trump. And that's where the Trump derangement syndrome comes from. Let's not worry about the border. Oh, that's racist. Wait till you see what's going on in Canada. Canada has fallen. We better start talking about a border wall with Canada. You just wait to this video that comes up. But we're going to do this one video about our legislators that are putting through all this gun crap. So yeah, would you put Val's video up?
Of America. I just wanted to give you a quick update of what happened in the House Judiciary Committee today. So HB 1891, which is the electronic gun registry, we've alerted on this. We've did a Facebook post on this. This bill is a very dangerous bill, and what it does is it sets up a mandatory system where every FFL, every licensed dealer in this state would have to submit all of their transactions through the state police record of sales system. And you know what that means? That means that is an electronic gun registry. What makes this worse, if you recall, House Bill 1593, which is the Universal Registration Check Bill, also passed the House. So those two bills, if they were to pass and go to the governor and they would sign it into law, that means every transaction in this state, Universal Registration Checks would outlaw private sales. Everything would go through an electronic system. And then everything would be ready at that point to have a registry of all firearms in this state. That's why this bill is so dangerous. So the bill passed entirely on party lines, 14 to 12, 14 Democrats all voting for it, 12 Republicans all voting against it. So now it goes to the House floor. So we're going to look to defeat this bill once again. It came up last session and we defeated it on the House floor. So again, all gun owners need to be on board. Pick up that phone, look for our alert on this page, and send a message to your state representative to defeat House Bill 1891. Again, House Bill 1891, the electronic gun registry, reported from committee, now goes to the House floor. Let's defeat it on the floor. Keep up the fight.
Yeah, that's Dr. Fidel. He is the president of Gun Owners of America, Pennsylvania chapter. Great guy, very smart. I've seen him give presentations before. He had a podcast when I was running for sheriff. I was on his podcast. I've had him on my podcast. I think I'll have to get Val back on here and really get into the nuts and bolts how this thing really is going to affect us. What is that? What is that catchphrase? Shall not be infringed. Remember that. Remember that. Remember that. And yeah. Oh yeah, Matt. Canada's gone. Wow. I think Brenda's got the videos lined up here, and she puts a little tag on there, so I know which video we're going to talk about. It's called Canada Falls. So yeah, go ahead and play that bit, Brenda.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Viva, viva Palestina! Viva, viva! Viva, viva Palestina! Palestine! 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 Palestine!
You like killing innocent people?
Hey, how's this?
Get back to your protest area or you're going to get removed. This is private property. This is what you don't understand. It's city property with trespass rules.
Bernardo, can I have something?
Israel Bernardo.
I'll talk to you.
I'll talk to him there. Okay.
Is there a
I'm just telling you to go now, or are you going to be taken off the court?
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Why did you come to Canada? Why? We are Canadians, sweetheart, and we'll proudly stand with Palestine. You're gonna need to get over it, dear. Arrest your country. Arrest the country.
Excuse me, don't touch my property, first of all. That's all Canada you just disrespected. You understand that? You understand what you just did? You disrespected our country, ma'am. Glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God bless Canada.
I don't even know what to say. I mean, I know Canada's, been leaning here. I got to do it backwards. Left for years. And then Trudeau, he absolutely set this whole thing in motion. So Trudeau is like their Joe Biden. Let the gates open, let them all in. Now they're raising in free Palestine. The last time I remember, they're free. That's right, because we negotiated a great deal. We got our hostages back. And here they are taking over Canada. It's a pincer move. They're going to come in from the north. They're coming in from the south. And man, you guys need to watch the original movie called Red Dawn. Red Dawn. The original one, not the remake. That remake one stunk. But the original with Patrick Swayze, all the great guys. Watch that movie and go, oh, crap. It's scary real. I mean, it really is. It's very, very scary real on how this thing is playing out. They're going to come in from the north. They're coming in from the south. And then you can come in from the Atlantic and the Pacific. And absolutely, we are in trouble. And you wonder why Trump is so well hated, because he wants a strong military. Well, he's selling airplanes to other countries. Yeah, those are supposed to be our friends. We don't sell jets to Iran. We don't do that. Yeah, great movie. It is the original one. Wolverine. Exactly. I'm not saying I'd be a Wolverine, but I'm just saying, Dearborn, Michigan's to say, well, oh, we know that. They're going to take over this country one by one, and they don't have to fire a shot. And we'll just sit back and say free Palestine. Well, it's already free. Who cares? Yeah. Generation X-ray movies define our generation's survival instincts. No, you're absolutely right, because it grasps the essence of who we really are and who our forefathers really were. Because if you think we won the Revolutionary War with their British tactics, we had no chance. No chance. None at all. So we had to revert to more of a unconventional warfare, which we call now guerrilla warfare. And that's exactly how the Wolverines hurt them. Well, now they had technology. They had little snitches. Just the sheer force but they brought those guys to their knees. And just imagine, I think that's one of the biggest saving graces our country has is the fact they know, again, back to Dave's comment, how many rednecks there are and how many guns there is that they don't know about. And that's exactly what Dr. Fennell was talking about, is how they want those guns registered. Because in the movie, there's a scene. The Cuban general, whoever, he came into the little town, grabbed the mayor, rounded up all the troublemakers, and he goes, go to the city courthouse and round up form number 6247, gun registration forms. They knew who exactly the troublemakers were. What do you think? How do you think Hitler did what he did? And they call us the Nazis. Phil James Comey, Pam Bundy, I already did that. Yeah, got it. So, gotcha. The trailer is always loaded, ready to go. I'm not saying, but here's the problem. Where do you go? You know, you're gonna have everybody else trying to go, and where to go to. We're not in Montana where we can just go to the woods, and that's getting harder and harder to do. So what do we got next? I forget this guy's name. This guy is like a rebel. He goes to city council meetings. He goes to county council meetings. He absolutely gives no craps about nothing. And this one is called, Brenda's got it tagged Koran Bacon. So sit back and relax.
Hey, yo, guys, hey. Right there.
Now I'm going to pause this here for just a second. This guy right here in the blue shirt and the camouflage hat, I want you to look to his right hip area. Yeah, I'm not a gun expert, but I would have to say, it's hard to say. I'd have to blow it up to look at that. But, you know, there he is, open carry. That's why they've been trying to get away and take that away and just regulate these guns right out of existence. So we, the people, can't have it. Again, as we talked about earlier, shall not be infringed.
United we stand! Divided we fall!
Yeah, Jake Lang. I watch some of his social media stuff. He goes right into council meetings and he's just city and county meetings, and he is definitely a pistol. So yeah, you would have watched some funny videos. I mean, not funny, but funny like, wow, scary stuff this guy does. And you know what? And you know, was that a Kimber? Yeah, I'm not that good of a gun expert, but yeah, it's hard to say, but I get that. Everything's better with bacon. I know. I get it. I don't know if I try bacon flavored ice cream. Matt Staff, 1911. No, I'd have to go with you guys. All a snack bar. Yeah, so yeah, let's go with the Texas. Oh, we got Kim. Hi, Kim, you're live.
Hey, Brian. Hey, I'm wondering about that new law they want to pass. Would that apply to every gun that they buy from the time they pass that law forward, or would it apply to guns we already own?
It appears. Now, I'll have to get with Dr. Fennell. He's a friend of the show. The Fennell family, huge. They're all, trust me, you meet one Fennell, you meet them all. They're great people, hardworking folks. I'll have to get Dr. Fennell to come on the show and get really deep. I'm going to say, with just real quickly, don't take it as gospel, that when you transfer, because like when you if I sell you a handgun, we have to transfer that. We have to go do, and we have to pay the $40 with background checks and get transferred. So I think that's what they're talking about. Now they have been trying to push it where, like, you have a shotgun, an old shotgun that I sell you, that does not technically have to be transferred because it's not a handgun. An AR-15 does not have to be transferred. So I think the problem is what you don't see is what gets you. That they'll probably have verbiage in there that when you transfer, they're going to want to transfer rifles too, would be my guess. I'll reach out to Dr. Fennell and I'll have him come on the show and we can dig really deep in this one. This guy is just a walking a Second Amendment guy. I remember
pretend. When you had him on there a long time ago. You and him are pretty tight.
Well, he's a good guy.
Bill Falkenberg, who, as you know, you've had him on the show before. He ran for state chairman.
Yep.
He's now been promoted to president of the NRA. He sent me something about this, and I'll have to forward it to you. We'll have to have him on your show too to explain this a little bit more, because you called this. Once they start taking over, they're going to start trying to take over little by little. This is how they take over our rights.
Well, yeah, and Dan Laughlin, when he was running for election, he had a handout, and what was it? 58 gun laws that they're working on to restrict our gun rights. So yeah, Dan is, people are like, well, Dan, I don't agree with him on that one. That's fine. I don't agree with everything either. However, you have to look at the big picture. Stop looking at it from a quarter. Look at it from a football field, because that's the big picture, and that's what that's how they get you.
Right. You might not, you know what? And who are you going to have in office that you're going to agree with 100% on? Absolutely nobody.
No, and we're not supposed to, because then we'd be little robots, and then we'd be little Democrat cult members and do what we're told. And you're like, okay, here's who you're going to vote for, and you're going to like it. Go vote. Must vote now. Vote blue, no matter who.
Right. And you're going to like that big tax bill, and you're going to like those extra fees on your water, trash, and garbage, no matter what we say. Well, then you might as well be like Chris Drexel and dress up as a zombie.
Yeah. Well, it's just like New York. They wanted this thing that the voting, the small little motivated voter block got him elected, and let them have it. Let them have it and watch New York crumble. I mean, I'm not exaggerating. Google up and on how many people left New York. People that can afford to leave are already gone.
Oh, yeah. And even people that can't afford to leave, they're gone because the taxes and the crime and everything are so out of control.
It's just going to get worse. And of course, there's a lot of videos out there. Even that whack job governor they have, she's like, yeah, he can't do that. We don't have the money for that. Yeah, no, that's subsidized. Yeah, we don't have any more money for free health daycare. We don't have money for the transit thing because that budget's already passed. So again, these people bought the rhetoric of a snake oil salesman that's never had a job. And he bitches and moans, you people, billionaires. Well, that's fine when you're a multi-millionaire to bitch about the billionaires, when the little people don't have that privilege.
Right. Absolutely. And I'm just going to put this out there for everybody. We got some dates. If you want to join committee, petitions will be able to be distributed in February. So we'll be having a little get together in January. We will help you with your petitions, help you fill them out. Tim and I will give you a list of 10 people in your area that you can go to have them sign it. They'll have to be turned in by, get this, St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. Oh, wow. That year went by fast, didn't it?
God, I know. We just did a parade, didn't we?
We did. And there's no saying that we can't do another one. We'll just do the Republican Party in St. Patty's Day. And so they'll have to be turned in by March 17th. And then, bam, you'll be on the ballot for the primary, which will be May 19th. And then, bam, you'll be on committee. It's that hard, guys and girls. And then we will have, so that's May. And then in June, we'll have a meeting and we can nominate a new GOP chairman. And we will have lots of fun doing all this. And like Miss Melanie said, we'll burn it down to the ground and we'll start all over again, so to speak.
Well, yeah, I mean, not
Sarcasm there.
physically, philosophically, of course. We're not
Right.
Democrats. We don't burn shit down. We have a discussion and we work it out. We don't go, flip police cars over and shoot fireworks at them to get their attention. But yeah, and then people really get little. They get confused once you're on the ballot and you get 10 votes in the primary, you're in. You don't have to wait
Right.
till November's election cycle to get on, which was actually pretty smart how they did that, because
It's pretty cool.
that would be ridiculous to wait all summer long when you only need 10 votes. 10
And we need
signatures.
that summer. We need that summer to go out there. And we had a really, really great meeting tonight about what we can do, to change things around and everything. And we got some really great input from a lot of wonderful people. So that's going to be just joyful. And we're going to focus on mail-in ballots and stuff. And it's going to be a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, no, I totally get that, and that's why we had a little bit come to Jesus meeting. It was very nice, very professional. Nice to see adults in the room, working together. To kind of say, okay, this didn't happen. Why didn't it happen? Now let's identify that problem and let's fix it. Of course, Tim Kuzma. He's a good math guy. He had all the math to back everything up, and then there was a couple of candidates that didn't get elected, so we had some great input on what they did right, and they did nothing wrong. It was just the fact that the Democrats pushed hard, and we only had 17% turnout rates. And I was reading online, this is all over, that the Republicans dropped the ball. Okay,
Right.
keep dropping the ball, folks. You're going to get Josh Shapiro again, and I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear about it. I really don't. I hear one moaner about Josh Shapiro. If he gets reelected, I'll just click you off, because I told you, we warned you, we told you, and we warned you, but you choose not to listen. Don't get
Right.
out and vote. We had Caleb there, getting people signed up for get their mail-in ballots early. That way they can get them early, get them filled out, and when they start accepting them, you can go down, just drop them in the box. And if
Absolutely.
you need us to, if you can't get out, we'll have a stack of affidavits. You just sign the affidavit that I have permission to have your ballot. I'll take a box of them and I'll drop them off. Sure, why not?
Absolutely. Yeah, and we're going to have a lot of fun. We'll have a lot of great activities. We want to get this younger college, people involved and everything. So, I'm really looking forward to a bright future with the Republican committee. We're going to have a lot of fun. And so if you're interested in becoming a committee member, just get a hold of myself, Brian, or Tim Kuzma. And if you want to be part of chasing the ballot committee, get a hold of myself or Tim or Brian or Melanie Brewer. And thank you, Miss Melanie, if you're out there, for putting together that meeting. And
Awesome.
once again, if somebody wants to get a free turkey or knows a family in need, this Saturday, the Singing Burger Club, they have 400 some turkeys. Get there early. I think it starts at 10.
Yep.
And and it lasts until they get rid of the turkeys. And that's a 12 or 14 pound bird, and enter at State Street and exit on I can't remember what street's on the other side. French, yeah. And congratulations to Miss Teresa today for the handing off its baton at the ladies' luncheon. I couldn't be there. I apologize again. I had a funeral to go to. But things are going to look up, guys. They're going to look up, and I hope everybody has a blessed and happy rest of the week. And I'll see you guys all on Sunday. Thank you, Brian and Brenda.
All right, thanks. So here's an actual photograph of the official handing off of the baton. Bernie has left us, so her wonderful son Stan did the stand-in, and of course, Teresa accepting the baton, and of course Mel basically hosted the meeting, and that little plaque is has all the names on it that the lovely women that have ran this organization. We got Ann on there, and that was the official photograph that I took of the handing off of the baton. So there it is. It's officially, Teresa's got it. I told her, I said, listen, don't be scared. We've got this. We've got your back. Whatever you need, we're there for you. I told her, I said, you need help putting event pages together to get this thing. And it was a standing room only. I know you can't. There's no one behind Mel. They are all behind me, sitting there eating. So it was a full house, and it was really exciting to see that many people. It's a big event. This is changing of the guard. I put the pictures on social media, and basically, it is. And Teresa, her and her husband, they always sit at the table, and they take care of us for these meetings. So there. My numbers are in the mail. Ballots between both parties should have all Republican rank. And Stan, and this is exactly the things we need to talk about. And here's my thing. I've talked about this before. If you're a registered Republican and you vote, okay, thank you. We appreciate that. Get out and vote. I vote on election day. Okay, that's fine. What happens if you're sick, your car's broken down? I don't trust mail-in ballots. Okay, don't mail them in. Fill them out. Take them down to the courthouse. Drop them in the drop box. Not now because it's not time. They're still wrapping up the election. Or you get a hold of one of the committee members, like myself or Kim or Tim or anybody. We will have affidavits ready for you to fill out. You have to fill out that affidavit. It says, I'm legally allowed to handle your ballot, and I will personally take it down there and hand it to Miss Fernandez personally. So they will be delivered for you. So on that, Texas, we already had the Texas jogger, didn't we?
Negative.
Negative, Ghost Runner.
Kim called as we were getting ready to play it.
Oh, yeah, go ahead and play that.
Yeah, this is a busy and popular park. Already this morning, we've seen several people out alone on walks. Police say that a woman was on a jog when a man attacked her with a hammer. This all happened on Thursday around 5 p.m. The details here, they're disturbing. Plano police tell us the woman was hit in the head with the hammer several times. She managed to fight the man off and he ran away. 4 hours later, police had a suspect in custody. They arrested 17-year-old Sergio Noe de Nova Duerte, an illegal migrant from Mexico. According to DHS, he came in on a tourist visa, and then in March of 2024, he was arrested for burglary and larceny. He was arrested under the Biden administration and was released back into the community with a notice to appear. Now, the woman was taken to the hospital with serious injuries, but police say it could have been a lot worse because duct tape was found at the scene. Many people in this area are on high alert right now, looking out for one another.
Whoever you worship, whoever you say your prayers to, send it out to this lady because she had the intestinal fortitude to fight, and that fight saved her life. I don't know how. I really don't. To take several blows to the head with a hammer and still have enough oomph to fight. Again, how many stories, how many people have to die and be hurt before these people get it. But it's what Trump wants, so the other side automatically hates it. Doesn't matter what it is. Like our boy from down south, if Trump said breathing was good for you, they'd all stop. It is the gospel, and we can't make this stuff up. Now, this next one comes out of Pennsylvania. Josh Shapiro should be investigated, and the Department of Transportation Secretary Director King Poobah should be fired on the spot because the crap that they're doing in California, Democrat governor, is starting to show up in Pennsylvania, Democrat governor, right here in Pennsylvania. Until somebody gets hurt, does this make a deal? Now, this guy is a terrorist 101. Lied, cheated his way into the country, got himself a driver's license, got himself a CDL, and was able to get a real ID. I challenge anybody in the room to tell me about their stories if they went and got a real ID on the nightmare we as citizens have to do to get one. So yeah, this one I'll have to stop because there's a long paragraph. It kind of explains on your driver's license. There's stars. I didn't know that, but again, I don't have a CDL and I don't have a real ID. So, go ahead and play that, Brendan. I'll stop it.
So ICE just arrested an illegal alien that is potentially a terrorist. This is 31-year-old Aurora Bazarov, an illegal criminal alien from Uzbekistan. In 2022, Uzbekistan issued an arrest warrant for him for being a member of a terrorist organization. He is accused of distributing terrorist propaganda calling for jihad online, recruiting terrorists to join the jihad movement. So what happened next is he conveniently ended up on the southern border in Mexico in 2023 and entered the country through the Biden administration. In 2024, he was granted work authorization and was issued a CDL for the state of Pennsylvania. This arrest is just more proof of how disastrous the border was under Biden. It was so wide open that people from other countries flew to Mexico just so they could come through to get into America. This dude literally fled the authorities in Uzbekistan to come here and hide. And we could probably assume he's guilty because why else would you flee to the other side of the world if you were innocent? This man should have never been let into the country, and who knows how many people like him are just hanging around America.
Now, Brenda took this photograph, put the big circle around it, and a big arrow. I never knew this existed, again, until this story broke. And then we will give you the definitions here in 1 second. So just let me click. There it is. The star on a driver's license indicates compliance with the Real ID Act with established minimum security standards for state-issued identification documents. So finish reading it up. I'm not going to grab a pop. Unbelievable. So you thought California was bad? Well, guess what? They're doing the same thing here in Pennsylvania. Now, do I need to go through the reasons why Josh, Mr. Lockdown and arrested nuns himself, Attorney General? Oh, this is the crap they're allowing while he's in charge. He sets the tones. He helps with the laws. So yeah, I'm glad they caught this guy. You watch all the left people like, oh, he's not a really bad terrorist. He's just kind of a bad terrorist, and he's just a working guy. He's just a truck driver. We need to get a GoFundMe. You watch the dumb shit that comes out of the woodwork once this story goes kaboom. But again, the news probably won't let it go kaboom because they're going to probably just whitewash it and hope it goes away. But it's up to people like you, me, podcasters, social media to keep this story going because, you know, it's got to be told because these are the people. Again, you know, I belong to the fire department. I've been on tons of tractor trailer motor vehicle accidents up on I-90. We had a truck come around the corner and lost his load, shifted, and it flipped over. Now, it was the middle of winter. This guy had on a tank top, a pair of shorts, flip-flops, climbed out of the truck, and walked away in the middle of a snowstorm. Now, why do you think he did that? Because I bet you $5 he didn't have a driver's license. Troopers showed up. They're like, where is this guy? We're like, see that little tiny white shirt guy down the road? That's him. Shoo! They went and picked him up. So yeah, this stuff happens. And we have I-90 right there. You don't realize how many tractor trailers go through I-90. You would be if you're bored, go up to TA out here in Harbor Creek and look how many trucks sit there at night. You will be blown away. Play this out. So yeah, I mean, again, you know, reason number 299 to get Josh Shapiro out of power before he sells our state down the road, which they're already doing it. Now, this one is called Bleach in the Food. Unbelievable. I mean, the audacity of certain city workers. Thank you, whoever you believe in. It was not here locally in Erie. Thank you, because I would really be ashamed if we had city workers that acted like this. But yeah, so go ahead and play that video of Bleach in the Food.
This city worker is about to go to jail. She is facing charges of criminal mischief, food tampering, and abuse of official capacity. 3 crimes that can end any public employee's career. City officials cannot put bleach in a street vendor's food, even if the vendor is operating without a license. Bleach is toxic. Bleach is dangerous. And pouring it into food is not enforcement. It's a crime, but she did it on camera, tilting an entire bottle of Clorox into a pot of food. No inspection, no communication, no warning. Just the arrogance of someone who thought, I can do whatever I want. That street vendor was simply trying to earn a living. A whole day's worth of ingredients, labor, and hope was destroyed in seconds as the food fizzed and turned white from the chemicals. He stood there in shock while she walked away as if she had completed a routine task. But this wasn't routine. This was criminal mischief, the intentional destruction of another person's property. This was food tampering, the contamination of edible food with a toxic substance. And it was abuse of official capacity, using government authority to harm, not help.
Now, just imagine what would have happened if somebody didn't videotape this. Thank you, whoever you believe in, that somebody had a cell phone camera and was able to document this, and there's her ID badge. There's a couple of videos. I watched them, and I just don't think it's 100% accurate that they showed the cops going to someone's house. It looked like her, but I didn't think it was, so we didn't play it. I mean, we want to stick to the facts as best we can. We don't try to elaborate. We're not Democrats. We don't need to make shit up. I mean, the video proof is right here. We do the research. We watch it. Make sure if it's an AI video, we tell you it's an AI video. I think that's only fair. Yeah. Hang out the TA Harbor Creek for an hour. See some of the characters that climb out of the trucks. Oh, I get it. Well, just don't forget. There's the pilot right down the road too, but the TA is way bigger, mucho bigger. Yeah. Now, of course, we don't like to just dwell on the negative. We don't. I mean, you know, there's a lot of stuff we got to talk about. There's stuff that we have to have out and about. But there's also a lot of nice people out there doing the right thing and helping other people just because they can. And this next story is called Airport Kindness.
We now know the identity of the woman whose act of kindness at an airport has taken over the internet, Debbie Bolton. What she did for a stranger and his 2-year-old daughter has everyone talking. Debbie, who works for the family-focused cleaning brand Norwex and is reportedly its co-founder and CFO, was standing in line when a father learned heartbreaking news. His little girl needed her own ticket, and it would cost $749. The dad was stunned. He told the agent he couldn't afford it, and that she could sit on his lap, but the airline said no. Without a ticket, the child wasn't flying. That's when Debbie stepped forward. After overhearing the situation, she walked right to the counter, pulled out her card, and said, "I'll buy this little girl's ticket." No hesitation, no drama, just a stranger choosing kindness. The father, overwhelmed, asked for her info so he could repay her, but Debbie refused. She didn't want credit. She wanted the child to stay with her dad. A witness was moved to tears, snapped a photo, and shared the story online. Now that Debbie has been identified, friends and coworkers say this is exactly who she is: generous, compassionate, and always helping others. Thank you, Debbie, for reminding us what humanity can look like.
Like I said, we try to do some funnies. We try to do some real stories that aren't negative. You know, we don't want to do that. We're getting into the. We should be nice to people all the time, but sometimes they make it really hard to do that. You know, we're supposed to be nicer around the holidays, and that's fine. I'm good with that. So we'll try not to be quite so hard line. Yes, Gwen, you're lucky, and you're welcome. I mean, you're welcome. Appreciate that. Oh yeah, where's Teresa? Did Teresa sneak in here? I didn't see her. Well, maybe. Well, like I said, I don't know you're here until you say something in the room. Oh, that's all right. Sorry it's so late. But look at we already made you famous. Look at there's. Oh, sorry, Brenda clicked. You click or I click. We can't click at the same time. There you go. So there it is. There's your official baton handing off by Stan. We talked about it earlier when Kim came in. I think that is just a great photograph. Your husband with food in his mouth and you just accepting that huge baton of responsibility. And of course, you know, Mel, she was standing there ready, doing everything she could. And Stan, you know, he I went on his Facebook page. You know, we tag each other and stuff. And I was honored and privileged that he used my photographs for his social media. And that's fine. I don't mind sharing. He's a good guy. And of course, I was sitting right next to him and I wasn't going to say a word. I really wasn't. But Mel looked right at me and goes, Brian. I'm like, okay, I guess Mr. Big Mouth has to say something. So we talked about, how Bernie would come over here and her and Brenda would sit on the couch for hours. They would custom make, her t-shirts and sweatshirts. They were all very religious, kind of orientated sweatshirts. And, like I said, I was standing up right next to Stan and I said, Stan's the kind of guy that if you're stuck in a ditch in the middle of a snowstorm, he'd come get you. And someone in the crowd said, just like his mother. I was like, there you go. And I said, even though Bernie's gone, but guess what? We have Stan, and Stan's good with a welder. So I mean, you get the best of both worlds. We had Bernie that was really good with politics, and we got her son that could weld stuff. It's a great, family get together and things that they can do. So other than that, I mean, it's 9:00. We try to keep it right around the hour. Oh, Tracy, you're welcome. I'm sorry. There's so many people scrolling by. I know Awesome Talk and pray about it. Right. Yeah. Like I said, Kim, sorry you couldn't make that. I know you had to do some family stuff today, but it was very nice to see that many people come out. And I'm glad I was able to get a good picture of the official baton handoff. We're going to go ahead and like the late Scott Bremner always said, we're going to go ahead and bring this thing in for a landing. And what is today? Today's Wednesday. Sunday, we will be back with a show. We're going to try to keep up and running during the holidays. We might just do one of around Thanksgiving time because it's on Thursday. Maybe we'll just do some Thanksgiving fun stuff, and we can have you guys call in and tell us what you're thankful for this year. I mean, it's been a tough year. It's been a tough year on everybody. So maybe we want to hear your personal stories. Come in. If you're not a regular caller, call in and tell us what you're thankful for. And I think that would be a great way to handle that. That way we're not like angry right at Thanksgiving time. That's bad juju. We need to talk about Republican Party. We'll start the Shank Crew party. Oh, trust me, the haters on Reddit are all up in arms. I don't know that wannabe Viking guy, Shank's Crew. Well, I mean, you know what? Thanks for that, man. I on my post, like when I get done with the show, I go back and I put some hashtags on it. That is hashtag Shank's Crew. But we have a new one, a new hashtag, and I wish you all will use this. And it's hashtag Be a Bernie. We talked about that today. Be a Bernie. How would she handle this? How would she deal with you? How would she react to this? Not quick with anger. You might get a stern lecture, but by goodness, it would be done with love. So yeah, hashtag Be a Bernie. Another great, thanks, Mom. Appreciate that. Brenda, that's it. Well, it's a wrap, right?
Yep.
I always make sure people realize that Brenda's actually here, not just some AI hot chick out in the command center. So yeah, thank you all for coming out. It was nice to see. I saw some of you folks today twice. It was great to see you guys. We had the luncheon at the Seamburger, and then we had our little powwow at the Republican headquarters. I was so impressed with everybody. Great time. Great communications. And of course, Mel would put you in line if you stepped out of line, and nobody did. Everybody was very nice. It was very nice to have that conversation. So again, thanks for coming out. Go have some hot chocolate or coffee, and we'll call this a night. So outro video, please.
Fight has never been clear. Take a good look in the mirror, and tell me what you see. They throw their stones to silence people, build up their walls to celebrate evil. Destructions are what they seek, and they got their man Charlie. But like an avalanche rolling downhill, like a fighter imposing his will, an army is born. Like the force of a tsunami wave, rising up, going boldly in faith. We cried and we mourned, but this is war. One bullet, one shot, but don't be mistaken. They took out a life, but united a nation, and we are not afraid. We rise up against those demonic forces who kill and destroy, but forgot who our Lord is. Standing strong and brave, the sleeping giant waves. Like an avalanche rolling downhill, like a fighter imposing his will, an army is born. Like the force of a tsunami wave, rising up, going boldly in faith. We cried and we mourned, but now this is war. They took out someone, a dead husband and son, because of his views and his faith. They thought they had won, no idea what they've done. Now they're lying in the bed that they've made. They took out someone, a dead husband or son, because of his views and his faith. They thought they had won, no idea what they've done. Now they're lying in the bed that they've made. And they created a martyr that day, like an avalanche rolling downhill, a prize fighter imposing his will, an army is born. Like the force of a tsunami wave, rising up, going boldly in faith. We cried and we mourned, but now this is war. Like an avalanche rolling downhill, a prize fighter imposing his will. He lived without fear. Oh, like the force of a tsunami wave, rising up, going boldly in faith.
All right, everybody, thanks for coming out. We appreciate you for spending your Wednesday night. It was a busy day. That's okay. It was a fun day. We got a lot of things done, and that's what we're supposed to be doing is let's get this done. Again, a special thank you for Brenda for coming out and doing what she does. Sits back there in the command center and takes us. Sometimes she'll take a bunch of small videos and she'll just kind of like edit them together so that way it's not start, stop, because we only have 10 spots for videos. So if you take 2 small ones, it becomes 1, or you take 3 little ones, it becomes 1. So she'll edit them up there and cut them up for time, and we appreciate that. Yeah, Teresa, thanks. Brandon coming out, the whole gang. I think yeah, Facebook wins again. Like we always say, nice salute. Shank out.